What's the worst scam you fell for when you were young and gullible?
Timeshare condo at the Massanutten Resort in VA. Was a 20-something newlywed with a new house and no kids. Wife and I thought we were going to live that double income no kids lifestyle. Plus we had a new joint bank account stuffed with wedding gift checks. As the sales pitch dragged on, I felt sicker and sicker, but kept telling myself that this was ultimately going to be an asset, and we would have access to a getaway whenever we wanted. My wife drove home that day while I read the fine print on the mountain of paperwork. I was in a panic by the time I got home. After a few minutes of Googling, I discovered that VA has some type of buyer's remorse law that lets you out of a timeshare with no penalty as long as you notify them in the first 5 or 7 days. I did that shit the next day and sent it certified mail with a receipt. To this day, I still have the receipt sitting in my fire safe as a reminder to not jump into things. Timeshare condo at the Massanutten Resort in VA. Was a 20-something newlywed with a new house and no kids. Wife and I thought we were going to live that double income no kids lifestyle. Plus we had a new joint bank account stuffed with wedding gift checks. As the sales pitch dragged on, I felt sicker and sicker, but kept telling myself that this was ultimately going to be an asset, and we would have access to a getaway whenever we wanted. My wife drove home that day while I read the fine print on the mountain of paperwork. I was in a panic by the time I got home. After a few minutes of Googling, I discovered that VA has some type of buyer's remorse law that lets you out of a timeshare with no penalty as long as you notify them in the first 5 or 7 days. I did that shit the next day and sent it certified mail with a receipt. To this day, I still have the receipt sitting in my fire safe as a reminder to not jump into things. I was in college and playing COD Black Ops late at night shortly after it came out. In the middle of a round, my phone rang and it was a robot from Visa, saying my debit card had been compromised, and I should enter my 16-digit card information. Well, I wanted to continue on with my round as fast as possible, so I typed in the number. Then when the robot asked me for the expiration date is when I realized my mistake and told my friends I had to go. Called and cancelled the card right away. Had just taken a dump on a public toilet, came out to wash my fingers, but had nowhere to place my Game Boy. Some man offers to hold it for me while I wash my hands, and next thing you know, little idiotic 6-year-old me no longer had a Game Boy Edit. Apparently you need to wash your hands and not only your fingers, that's my bad. Similar, I was downtown with my skateboard hanging out with some older kids I just met. I'm just about to leave when one of the kids asks to try my board for one last time. I hand it to him and he and his friends just bolt. Now, I had scrimped and saved to buy that board with my own money. It was literally the cheapest board you could buy new. I could not afford another one. So I ran after them. But they were bigger than me and faster, and slowly but surely they were getting away. So I stepped out into the street in front of a pickup truck. The guy stopped and I shouted, "Those kids stole my board." He told me to hop in. When the kids saw me chasing them down in a pickup truck, they dropped the board. What's something that you did once that you'll never try again? Marriage. I'm still married, but I wouldn't do it again. Wife knows your Reddit account, huh? Put my tongue on some ice stuck to the ice. I pulled it out and started bleeding from my mouth during a family reunion. Never again. Just watched another video like that. I don't think it's the pain that would really get me, but death, the missing tongue chunk, and not being able to drink and eat for a few days blowtorch. What double standard disgusts you? Right now in Canada, we're in strict lockdown, but a dozen of our politicians have been found vacationing around the globe. In other words, we can't bury grandma at a funeral, but these politicians can go work their tan. Thankfully, many of them have resigned in the last 2 weeks. Fellow Albertan here, they haven't actually resigned, they're only being demoted out of the parliamentary roles. They're still going to be MLAs, except for Kenny's chief of staff who was hired not appointed. Like for example Tracy Allard resigned from her municipal affairs minister role, but she's still the MLA for her riding. It's disgusting the entitlement these people have. If you always arrive to work late, you're in big trouble. If work never finishes on time, shrug, no big deal. This is infuriating for me in a sales position. I constantly stay late or even have to come in on my off day to finish up a sale, because that's how I get paid. We still have scheduled hours, but me showing up 5 minutes late won't make a difference towards my paycheck, because those 5 minutes definitely won't make me a sale. But they treat it like it's the absolute worst thing I could do. They've pulled up lists for each employee showing how many times we've been late by the minute. I was told I've been late 8 times for a grand total of 15 minutes over the last 6 months. This includes from lunch breaks as well. And I was told this was unacceptable and put on a warning. This same thing was said to majority of our sales employees. But we get no praise for working over and finishing deals. It's crazy. Dogs can bite us, but we can't bite them. Eta, I know you can bite a dog. Please, my inbox can only handle getting the same message so many times. Edit 2 Sorry I was grumpy this morning, I love my dog and I bite her ear often and she grudgingly tolerates me. I got bit once. I'm still waiting for an apology. From the damn dog. The last thing you searched up is the thing that saves your life, what is it? Spaghetti, I had no idea how to spell it and needed to add it to the shopping list. You are walking down the street. A man comes around the corner with a knife, threatening to kill you if you don't give him all your money. You have spaghetti in your pocket, left over from dinner. You throw it at him and run. He is startled, asking himself, who keeps spaghetti in their pocket? Spaghetti saved you. Spaghetti is love. Spaghetti is life. I clear my search history literally any time I search anything. Nothing can save me now. You walk into a room filled with tigers, but nothing distracts the tigers and you get to escape. Oh nothing. You were always my favorite. Mariah Carey. You walk into a store and a teenage girl tries to mug you. You start singing, All I Want for Christmas Is You, and run away. What is some random knowledge that you know that might be useful down the road? When taking photos of clocks, watches for advertising the time is usually set to ~10:10. This is usually done so logos on the clock, watch are visible. This will be helpful if I ever take up clock photography as a career. Don't dry your pubic hair with hair dryer. Dangling over a dehumidifier on the other hand. If a stranger promises you something, it's a red flag. They try to establish trust, because they see that you have doubts. Remain calm when you see a bear, try to extend arms with another person to seem big and impressive, and casually talk to the bear as if you're talking to your friend. Stand when you see a bear, run when you see a moose. If a tornado looks like it's not moving, it is moving towards you. Best thing you can do is make a beeline for your car and drive the fuck away.